MLB Preview, National League East, 2016 season. Starting in the National League East, it is first in the National League East, the New York Mets. Pretty much the National League, obviously the National League champions, went to the World Series. Only went 5 games with the Royals, and we all knew it was the Royals' year. There was no way they were going to be stopped. But overall, you have to look and you have to see this is the New York Mets, the team that is. This is the team to beat. Washington Nationals gave it everything with every talented roster that they put up, but even with every single talent they had there, New York Mets were obviously the victors of the division and got all the way to the World Series, and that's exactly what's going on here. I know Washington has some talented baseball players, and they will be really high up. I really do believe they will be in the postseason this year, most likely, but this is the New York Mets, and I think having pretty much the same exact lineup, pretty much as of last year, except losing a key piece in Daniel Murphy, NLCS MVP. But I still think replacing him with a great second baseman that they did, I think they'll be totally fine. I think they got definitely upgraded better to shortstop. I do believe their outfield is definitely great, but we're gonna break all this down right now as a roster here. But overall, this is definitely the team first in the NL East for me. That's going to be the most challenge for any team up there. Overall, the New York Mets, looking at what they did in the infield, they're still going to have catcher Travis d'Arnaud, first baseman Lucas Duda. They added second baseman Neil Walker to the mix, third baseman David Wright. Hopefully he'll be healthy this year, and shortstop Asdrubal Cabrera. So it's a great quality infield that brings pretty much a nice, a nice flow to the lineup. Again, Wilmer Flores, we'll see how he does, but he's probably not going to be much of an impact because Asdrubal Cabrera is going to be that key piece. But Wilmer Flores, having him as a backup is not bad. Outfield wise, you got Michael Conforto, a really young outfielder that they need from Seattle. The center fielder from Yoenis Cespedes, keeping him on the long-term deal was a great idea that they did. And right fielder Curtis Granderson, like I said, just another guy that's fantastic to watch, and I'm glad he's definitely got his game back overall to what he's been. And overall outfielders, I mean, any kind of backup that they have, it's not bad having Alejandro De Aza and Juan Lagares there as your backup situation if injuries were to occur, which it always does. And when it comes to 162 games of baseball, it's going to happen. But overall, that helps them. So outfielder wise, they're good. Starting pitching overall, Matt Harvey, Noah Syndergaard, Jared DeGrom, Bartolo Colon, Steven Matz, pretty much one of the best pitching rotations, if not the best with pitching rotation in baseball right now. And they got it going on. They are such a talented group of guys. And just having the fact that Zach Wheeler isn't even in the mix of that, this is how good it is. This is how talented this starting pitching is. And like I said, just having Zach Wheeler still here, he can impact in the bullpen somehow. But that's a great rotation there. And then bullpen wise, the key pieces that I could see from the bullpen: Addison Reed, Antonio Bastardo, and Juris Familia. Again, Familia, great closer. Bastardo, they got a great setup in man in that guy, and Addison Reed is another guy that could be a good, used to be a great closer, but now going to put him in the mix with being a bullpen guy, down the stretch, seventh inning. But I think these three guys will be fine. I think they'll definitely produce as to what they're supposed to, and they'll do what they need to do in terms of just winning games, just closing out games, and they'll be fine. This is a team that's going to be first in the NL East, and I see them very dangerous in the postseason. So New York Mets definitely over there. Second in the NL East, Washington Nationals. Another great, like I said, another great powerhouse team that for some reason just can't quite do it when it comes to just overall a team that everyone was expecting. They have to win the World Series. They have to win the World Series. They have to win the World Series. And I believe too much pressure on them was given, and in the end didn't even make the postseason last year. So I feel like this year we all know New York has that number one hand to be crowned the NL East champ in my view. So overall, this is kind of a setback year for the Nationals. Just reflect, try to play great baseball, and try to get to the postseason. And for Bryce Harper, I want him out of the NLDS and into the NLCS, into the World Series. I want him in the big spotlight. I want to see him play a lot more because Washington Nationals, as much talent they has brought up, they just cannot seem to get past. If they do get to the postseason, they never get past NLDS because they bump into teams like the Giants. So overall, or the Cardinals. So overall, it's like Nationals. This is their time. This is their moment. And I do believe they'll be in the postseason. I think they have a great chance of being like that in that postseason run. And like I said, another great team in the NL East besides the New York Mets, definitely the Nationals. Looking at the infield, you got catcher Wilson Ramos, first baseman Ryan Zimmerman, second baseman Daniel Murphy, the new acquiree from the New York Mets, third baseman Anthony Rendon, and shortstop Danny Espinosa. Looking at overall just the infield wise, it's it's definitely I'd say it's a veteran type of infield that I think will be a lot better. I mean, you're looking at Anthony Rendon. That's coming off a one of those years where he's gotten injured the past couple of years, but he's had such a great NL MVP year his first time up when he was a rookie, or and so people are like, man, he's going down. No, it's not. It's just he's trying to get himself up, and I believe this is a big year for him, and he's gonna have a big year this year. So I expect nothing but the best for Anthony Rendon. And again, I mean, they have a backup veteran shortstop in Steven Drew, so they don't have much to worry about. They have a youngster that was actually one of the top prospects in Trey Turner. So they have some guys there. On the outfield, you're looking at left fielder Jason Worth, center fielder Ben Revere, right fielder Bryce Harper, NL MVP, sensation, once in a generation type player. Bryce Harper with Mike Trout, so overall fantastic. They got a new acquiree in Ben Revere. He's fast. He's not a power hitter, but he gets hits, he gets doubles, he gets triples if he needs to be, and he gets stolen bases. So, and he's a great outfielder, so that's another plus. And you're looking at what they have at outfield. I mean, you have Matt Den Decker. Also, you have a Michael Taylor at center fielder. So, I mean, you have those two guys that can replace in case of an injury. And like I said, that's always good to have those type of guys there, ready to go and try to you know try to get them ready for the postseason when it comes down to it. Pitching wise, you got Max Scherzer, Gio Gonzalez, Steven Strasburg, Tanner Roark, and Joe Ross. Um, and like I said, that's a great starting pitching. I mean, that is a great starting pitcher rotation. That's that's definitely someone that you're like, damn, like that's pretty good. I mean, having Max Scherzer, I think he's gonna have an outstanding year this year. Gio Gonzalez, a better year. Steven Strasburg's gonna have a great year. Joe Ross, Tanner Roark, you're gonna see a step up in them. But and then the bullpen, the three major keys I see is Sean Kelly, Jonathan Papelbon, and there is this guy that people don't know much about, but his name is Trevor Gott. Um, Young guy, 23. And I think he's ready to prove himself to the baseball world, what he's capable of. I think he's capable of a lot of things as a youngster. And again, when you have other guys like Oliver Perez, Yusmeiro Petit, those type of guys. I mean, they have some veteran guys. Sean Kelly, they got some veteran relievers that I think will be fine. And I think this rotation and this whole organization will be great. So definitely Washington Nationals. Keep an eye on them. They're going to be fun to watch next year. Third in the NL East, the Miami Marlins. Pretty much is a team that's right there, but is not good enough to compete with the Washington Nationals, New York Mets type of teams. And just, I mean, this is a club that's been trying and trying, and we all know that they haven't been the best through the years. I mean, we all know about Miami Marlins becoming they were the Florida Marlins. They won two titles, Marlins organization, and like I said, they've been trying to get there. They've been trying to get past there, and they try to make a good team. I remember when Jose Reyes got that deal here in Miami long term, but that didn't work out so well, and they're just trying, and I think obviously a very bright spot is they have a superstar in the team, but they're trying to get this team to be competitive enough to have a shot at making the postseason, and this is a team that's searching for the opportunity. Unlike the Mets and the Nationals, where I feel that they're talented enough to get there, Miami I think has to push themselves a lot harder, and they will have to push themselves really hard this year for them to even have a chance at postseason possibilities there. I mean, like I said, NL East isn't the strongest division, but like I said, when you have two individual clubs that are above you for sure in terms of what you can do, it's really hard to try to get to the postseason without possibly maybe a playoff game, hopefully. But there's other divisions, so there's going to be tougher teams out there. So Miami has to definitely play top notch every time. Anyway, you're looking at the Miami Marlins. They have a catcher, JT Realmuto. That's a young catcher that's pretty much a superstar soon. I mean, he's definitely got that swagger to be a top 10 catcher soon in the league. And like I said, great at batting, great person in the lineup. I mean, you got first baseman Justin Bour, second baseman D. Gordon, brings some speed. Third base Martin Prado, and shortstop Adeiny Echeverria. Overall, it's a nice infield that I like. I like the infield for sure. Again, I mean, you're looking at just overall, along with having Martin Prado there. That's a veteran third baseman. You have another third baseman that's a veteran, Chris Johnson. We all know him. He had a very productive years in Atlanta. So overall, they have some veteran leadership there. On the outfield wise, you got left fielder Christian Yelich. You got center fielder Marcell Ozuna. And you got right fielder Giancarlo Stanton. Giancarlo is the superstar of the team. I mean, 12 years. I don't know how many. I think $300 million. It's up there. It's fantastic what kind of deal he's got. But for sure, like that is a great outfield in itself. Yelich, Ozuna, and Stanton, young, productive, and ready to go. Like I said, outfielders over there. I mean, they're ready to go. I believe Ichiro can still play a little bit for them. So overall, they're not totally in the dust when it comes to outfielders. They do have some things if injuries were to occur. And then of course you got the starting pitchers. I like the new addition of Wei and Chin from the Orioles now to the Miami Marlins. You got Jose Fernandez back. Hopefully he'll be back to his normal dominance. Jared Cozart, I think he's a young guy that I think will do a good job. Tom Kohler, another young guy that hopefully he'll definitely step up, and Adam Conley, another young guy. Like I said, it's a young pitching rotation that's trying to figure it out, and I don't blame them for struggling a little bit, but I feel they'll get the gist of it, and they'll do good things for sure. So I'm definitely not afraid of what they can do, and also they have a veteran presence, starting pitcher in Edwin Jackson there. So anything goes wrong, he's kind of there to manage things. So it's nice to have that guy. And then I mean, the three major bullpen guys, and the only guys that I had to talk about for the Marlins is Mike Dunn, Brian Morris, and AJ Ramos. AJ Ramos, the closer. Brian Morris and Mike Dunn, those setup and reliever type guys. So overall, I think they'll do fine. I don't know how many wins they'll come up with, maybe around 80 or something. They'll definitely compete in the spot for the playoffs. I don't know if they could make it, but there's a possibility. You never know. But Miami Marlins for sure third in the NL East. Atlanta Braves fourth in the NL East. It's very hard to, and it's very weird to kind of put them in that debate of pretty much on the bottom list of the division. And in any division, really, even with the NL East, I expected them to be right there top notch, and that used to be the case. I mean, the Braves used to be such a contending team with Chipper Jones. Obviously, remember with the Derek Lee years. I mean, overall, this was or Derek Lee, sorry about that, not Derek Lee, Fred McGriff, those 90s teams, and just the dominant pitching that they had back in the 90s, getting the World Series a lot, 2000s roll around, they're still very competitive, still a great, like I said, with Freddie Freeman and Jason Hayward, and then adding those two Upton brothers that didn't really work out so well, but overall, this was the Braves team, Andrew Simmons. I mean, they had superstars there, they had stars there, and it was like, I really believed in this team to go far, go places, and I really expected them to win a World Series at one point, and it just all went down. I think Atlanta made some terrible trades, in my opinion, and just some things that I didn't agree with Atlanta, just giving away players pretty much. It was really sad to see because I knew in my heart of hearts that the Atlanta Braves had what it took to be really a contending team, and now it's more like they're trying to rebuild and trying to be better, but at the same time being better, they're not going to get anywhere in terms of postseason wise. Just the whole team itself, I don't think it'll work. But I think Atlanta will win more games. Definitely, they won't be at the bottom of the division, but they're not going to be the top of the division just with how it's all set up and how the entire division is right now. I mean, it's way too hard to put Atlanta right there in the top. I think they hopefully they'll figure it out and try to rebuild and try to get better. But right now, this is definitely not a year for the Braves. Braves fans, I don't want to, give you bad news, but I just don't see it. Looking at the catcher, you look at in the infield right there, catcher AJ Przinsky. They have Tyler Flowers as the backup. That's not bad. Looking at first baseman Freddie Freeman. That's not going to change. Second baseman Jace Peterson did a really good job last year, being that second base for them. I thought that was great for them for the team. I think they did a lot, and he really contributed really well. Looking at third base, Adonis Garcia. He's kind of like a rookie. I think his second year now. He's 30, so he hasn't played much, but we'll see how we get from that guy. And of course, they acquired Eric Ibar, so we'll see how that goes too. I think he's been fantastic in his career with Los Angeles and all there, so we'll see how he does. And the infield, you're looking at guys that they have: Gordon Beckham, they have Emilio Bonifacio, they have Kelly Johnson. They have some guys to work with in case something were to happen. And then of course you have the outfield with left fielder Hector Olivera. We'll see how that goes. He's a new guy for sure. They acquired Ender Inciarte, great center fielder, productive for the Arizona Diamondbacks. We'll see how he does this year with them. And of course, right fielder Nick Markakis, which has always been a productive veteran leader. And again, the outfielders. You got Jeff Francoeur, Michael Bourne if you need it. So overall, this is definitely a driven team of old guys, I would say. But they're trying. And then starting pitchers, you got Julio Teheran. I think he's going to be great starting pitcher, great number one for them. Young guy again. This entire pitcher rotation is young. Matt Whistler, Bud Norris is in his 30s, but still relatively young in this lineup of rotation. Williams Perez and Manny Buenelos. So those guys will figure it out through the season. Bullpen wise, the only most important that I can come up with: Aroldis Vizcaino, Jim Johnson, and Jason Grilli. We got two guys: Jason Grilli, Jim Johnson, veteran guys, veteran presence. Vizcaino kind of, I'm still trying to learn. But overall, this is a team that's trying to learn, trying to get better every day. And nothing else I can say. They'll be fine, but definitely not going postseason anywhere. Fifth and the bottom of the division is the Philadelphia Phillies in the NL East. Coincidentally enough, if people do not know, I have made this channel. I love every team. I'm definitely not I'm a big fanatic. I am a Phillies fan. I am a Philadelphia Phillies fan for baseball, but I do not show it because I do want to make sure that everyone knows I'm not a fanatic. I'm not going to be like, oh my God, I am this. We are the best. We are the best team in the world. I hope that the Philadelphia Phillies do get to be better and do get to be a winning team again. But that will be a while until that happens. And not just saying that because we are not doing so well, and because back in when we went back-to-back World Series, I knew we were a really good team back-to-back those World Series. I think we had a great pitching rotation going, and we had everything going. Like I said, we were a lot younger too. So overall, losing guys like Jimmy Rollins, Chase Utley, those kind of guys, guys that just get older, and you're like, you got to move on. Ryan Howard is the longest tenured guy out there right now. So overall, it's a new experience. Seeing new guys is different. Not seeing Roy Halladay, those type of guys, Cole Hamels, Cliff Lee, just that type of passion for it. I miss some of the old players for sure, and I think Philadelphia they're a young team, so I know they'll figure it out somehow, some way. But let's first take a look at the infield. The catcher Cameron Rupp, first baseman Ryan Howard, second baseman Cesar Hernandez, third baseman Michael Franco, and shortstop Freddie Galvis. Pretty much everyone is so young and they have talent, and they're just like Franco, Galvis. They showed me last year just how productive they are and how they can be great baseball players in the league, and especially for the Philadelphia Phillies. Overall, Carlos Ruiz is still there, but he's older, 37, so they're going to give Rupp the nod there. Carlos Ruiz is a great backup for sure. You got Darren Ruff, a great backup for Howard, and like I said, they're right there. So overall, they got some options here. And then for outfield, you got Peter Borges, you got Left field, center field, Odubel Herrera, and right fielder Tyler Godell. Again, pretty much young outfield, the new outfield, no Shane Victorino, those type of days. So overall, it's definitely new. Again, they have guys like Cody Ash. They got Darnell Sweeney, those type of guys there still. So overall, there's still some guys there that be looking like, man, damn, they still got something, and they do. We still got some stuff. This team still got some stuff, but they're young, like I said. I guess I'm not expecting much. They're not going to go that far. Just the team itself is just way too young and way too inexperienced. And you're looking at the starting pitching. Number one is Aaron Nola, and he's about 23 around there. Then you got Jeremy Hellickson, Charlie Morton, Jared Eichhoff, and Vince Velasquez. Again, you don't expect much from that starting pitching. And then the bullpen, the three guys, you got Luis Garcia, Talier Hinojosa, and David Hernandez. Again, this is definitely a team that is very, very much like young. Ryan Howard, like I said, is the only guy that I can see, like the old guy, you know what I mean? And then you're just looking at just some guys that can be starting pitchers. Brett Oberholzer, and he can be there, you're just taking a look at a lot of guys, and you're like, man, this could really be a really good team down the stretch when they get older and they start developing their skills more. And I do believe that for sure. So I'm excited to see what happens down the road. But for right now, this is the fifth and the last team in the NL East. So Philadelphia Phillies, my team, but not a fanatic about it. And like I said, I love all the teams, I love all the players, but got to give it to my team. They're fifth in the NL East. They're trying, but it's going to take a while until they can reach the top again.